I want to hear this correctly.
Yes. Okay. We know from the DMED database, the military's database, which we're looking at because that's our plaintiff class, that in 10 months of 2021, so not even the complete year, all causes, morbidity and mortality had increased, according to the military's own numbers, by 1,100%, 1,100% over 2020.
Among who? What was the population?
Between 18 and 40 was the DMED population, if memory serves.
In the
military members.
Military
yes,
members.
Telling you. Yes, that's what I'm telling you. That is the database that we're operating on.
1,100%?
Yes, that's right. And if you look at the way that the charts go, and don't forget I'm in the morbidity business. We underwrite accident, sickness, health, and disability insurance. If you look at the forecast, that should be in the neighborhood of 5,000% increase this year.
Oh my gosh.
Boom shakalaka, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters around the world. It is your boy Chris Shule, aka the esoteric noetic, aka the chocolate Nubian sobrada from Ghana, West Africa, aka the vegan prince warrior king. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, click on the bell, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your mama, drop us the comments, drop us the cryptocurrencies, buy us a copy. You know the drill. Mwah! Kisses, hugs, and belly rubs to everyone that has been doing so. It warms the inner sanctums of my heart. And for those that have not been commenting or telling their mum or dropping the cryptocurrencies, it's all right. I love you too. All right, let's get it. You know, if you're someone that was able to hold your ground and not buy into the narrative that has been perpetuated for the last couple of years and did not drink the Kool-Aid, did not get the juice, did not take the boom shakalaka, you know what I'm talking about, you're probably feeling very smug right now, like me. Actually, I'm not feeling smug. I'm a humble, loving person, and I would never say something like, I told you so. And in all sincerity, it really isn't a good feeling being in a state where you're right about things that are having such a detrimental impact not only on the people around you, but on your life. It's very difficult being someone that knows what's going on in the world right now. Because the more you learn, the more awareness you gain about things, the more difficult it becomes to live with the momos, to pretend that everything is fine, to look the other way when you were hearing reports flooding the media about, well, boom shakalaka, reports that you know are false, and things that you can't believe. You can't believe in your wildest dreams are actually taking place. I mean, let's face it, we all knew that it would come to this, but the way it has, it's caught a lot of us conspiracy theorists off guard. You know things are coming, but when they happen, it affects you in a totally different way to what you expected it would affect you. It's like, when my father passed away, I knew that it was something that was going to happen for a long time. He hadn't been well, but when it happened, it affected me like nothing I could have imagined. And to this day, it's still something that is difficult to deal with. And I feel like a lot of the things that are happening right now are having that effect on us, right? A lot of those that have been following what's been going on for a long time. And we could see this coming a mile away. And now we are having reports flood in regards to how the mortality rate has increased by a ridiculous number. I'm not going to quote any figures here, but it's so obvious, and yet so many of the momos are continuing to spout the same nonsense, wear their face nappies, and chant the slogan of the New World Order. We are in this together. We will do what we are told. Obedience is a virtue. In any event, let's talk about what's been going on in the world lately. First of all, I want to talk about Russia and Ukraine, just briefly. Make it clear to everyone that I am not on Team Ukraine. I know a lot of people think I am because I talk about how Russia's being naughty invading them, which is true, but I'm also not on Team Russia. I'm not with any nations, people. I don't do this, governmentalist nonsense. I believe in freedom. Welcome to the home of the truth movement. You, as far as I'm concerned, do not believe in freedom, truth, if you're still playing this divide and conquer game, if you're talking about nations, if you're talking about races. I don't care about that kind of stuff. I don't care about your nation. I don't care about your governments. I don't care about your group, what group you're in, whether or not you're on Team Momo, Team Black. All these people still screaming out Black Power. Bro, come on. That is so 2000 and late. Get with the program. This is not about race. This is how they divide and conquer. I'm with the individuals, the people of every country. I'm with the minority. Not the minority in terms of groups, but the individual. The individual is the smallest minority. It is these individuals that are being played by these governments to go and war with other countries. It's these individuals that are being bombarded, that are suffering, that are at the mercy of the tyranny that is going on, that are being coerced to take these experimental boom shakaluckas. They're the people that I'm with. I am with the individuals, the people. I just want to make that very clear. I'm about freedom. And as my man Optimus Prime once said, freedom is the birthright of all sentient beings. I'm all about expanding people's consciousness, dropping those wisdomatic truth bombs, and opening their hearts to the beautiful life forms that we share this planet with. Check out my book, by the way. It's all about that. It's called Vegan Prince Warrior King. Shameless plug. It's coming out in, 7 days. 7 days. Oh! It's going to be out March the 28th. It's going to be out on all avenues where you download books. I don't even download books, but I know it's going to be available on Amazon and Kindle and all that kind of stuff. So please check it out, or follow us on Patreon, and I'll keep you up to date with everything I'm doing, and I'll send you a direct copy of my book, Vegan Prince Warrior King. All right, so let's have a look at what's going on right now in the world. First and foremost, it is very interesting that the Australian government, wait for it, they're looking to have more jabbies. Australians could need, look mate, we could need 5 doses of the COVID boom shakalaka to be considered, for you to be considered fully boom shakalaka. This is unbelievable. So I think we're up to the 4th jab at the moment, 4th booster. Do you see what is going on? Do I need to spell it out? Well, according to this article, Australians could need up to 5 doses of the boom shakalaka to be fully jabbed. Immunocompromised patients already recommended to receive 4 doses. Ataji says it's monitoring international data from countries requiring 4 jabs. Almost 60% of all eligible Australians have had 3 doses of the boom shakalaka. And what's interesting is, okay, so I came across this article from the dailyexpose.uk that is reporting that there's data confirming the fully boom shakalaka now account for 9 in every 10 of the boom shakalaka deaths. Some quadruple boom shakalaka. So some of these people being quadruple boom shakalaka. Now I'm going to show you the data in regards to this. This is all from governmental sources, ladies and gentlemen. So the percentage of boom shakalaka 19 cases, hospitalizations, ICU admissions, and deaths in New South Wales, Australia by boom shakalaka status. This is from the 26th of November to the 5th of February 22. Let's see this graph over here. And it's interesting, ladies and gentlemen, that they're still pushing this thing. That's all I'm going to say. It's interesting. Obviously, you got to do the right thing, because it's still better for you to get boom shakalaka than not to be boom shakalaka. Yeah, sure. That makes a lot of sense. Oh, now, I want to share with you an article I came across, because this touches home. I have been seeing this happen a lot lately with, for instance, my mom. And it's something that's causing a lot of distress with me at the moment, because you're never going to get an answer. You're never going to get the correct answer if you go to see a soothsayer. And that's what I'm calling them now. These doctors that are complicit with what's going on, You might as well be speaking to a soothsayer, because they're definitely not going to tell you what's really going on. They're going to give you some lame answer. Anyway, so this Sydney woman went to see some doctors about migraines and tinnitus 6 months after her boom shakalaka visit. And so a Sydney finance worker suffering severe neurological problems and this article is from thenews.com.au, by the way. I'm just reading their article. I don't agree with any of the things they're saying, because I think everything the government is doing is good, and the boom shakalakas is safe, and I'm totally on team meh. But I just wanted to cover this just to show how crazy some conspiracy theorists are when it comes to not buying the narrative and all their crazy ideas. So 6 months after this girl received the boom shakalaka, she says so a Sydney finance worker suffering severe neurological problems more than 6 months after her boom shakalaka says she feels abandoned by the government and the medical community. You might want to know why. So Daniela Lenarzik, 34, says she has experienced migraines, tinnitus, neck pain, and numbness in her arms since receiving the first dose on September 3rd, but the doctors have been left stumped and unable to give her any answers. Miss Lenarzik, who fears she may have to give up her dream job due to her ongoing health problems, has spent close to $4,000 on out-of-pocket medical expenses for specialist appointments, test scans, and medications, and still no one knows what to do. See, a lot of people that took it because they were like, oh, look, I got to be healthy. I don't want to get the Rona. I might be really, really sick. All right, fair enough. And unfortunately, they're finding that, and I don't know, this is what they're saying, that they're sick because they took the boom shakalaka. And this is the case with my mum as well. Now, granted, we don't know what's wrong with her. She's taken the boom shakalaka, and I believe she's probably taken the booster as well. I don't know. I haven't really been speaking to her much about this because there's been a lot of argument and she doesn't want to talk about it. But she has not been feeling well, and she's been seeing doctors for the problems that she's been receiving. She's been fainting and having a whole bunch of issues, and they're telling her that it's related to X and Y, anything other than the boom shakalaka. And she's trying to figure out what the problem is. And I'm going blue in the face thinking, well, I mean, I don't know what possibly could be the problem. What could possibly have been the cause of the problem? I don't know. I mean, it's not like taking an experimental boom shakalaka would have any potential ramifications, right? And it's incredibly frustrating because this is not a laughing matter, guys. It's actually making me want to pull my hair out. It's such a frustrating situation because you're dealing with your loved ones here, and the fact that I can't even talk to people in regards to what's going on because they don't want to know, despite the fact that there is so much evidence coming out that a 3-year-old kid would be able to pick up that something ain't right about this. I mean, you have a look at the reports. You have a look at how Senator Johnson, I think, did some report, and he's found out that there are many illnesses that have gone through the roof. If you have a look at the period of, let's say, 2016 to 2020, the average, and you compare it with the illnesses that have been coming out in the last couple of years, it's through the roof. Now, of course, it has nothing to do with any crazy boom shakalaka, the conspiracy theorists, right? But nonetheless, so many people are going along with this game. It's scary. And I'm not gonna take an easy swing at people because this is programming, it's psyop. We're dealing with a lot of factors here. People are uncomfortable with truths, particularly when it makes them have to come to the realization that they have done something that is perhaps not a wise thing. People would rather be continually deceived than acknowledge that they have been fooled. And this is, I think, what we are dealing with. It is a deep psychological problem. Anyway, so this lady, she provided news.com.au with copies of hospital discharge summaries as well as medical claims records detailing more than 30 visits to GPs and specialists between September and February. They shrug their shoulders and say, it's stress, she said. And this is what a lot of the soothsayers are saying. Oh, look, mate, yeah, look, it's stress. You just got to make sure you get lots of sleep and eat healthy. It's got nothing to do with, I don't know, it's got like, you're fine. This is why I mean, ever since the whole Rona and whatnot. I don't have any respect for to me. I put doctors in the same category as as prostitutes. I mean, I don't have anything against prostitutes per se, but I'm gonna be a little apprehensive about hooking up with you. If you're a prostitute, because you've been around, and chances are you might be carrying some dirty germs or something like the Rona. But seriously, I have this is not a definitive statement, but generally speaking, I'm very weary now if I find out that someone is a doctor, because in Australia, chances are if you were a doctor and you've gone along with everything that's going on, and you have not given patients a good understanding of what's going on, and you've just coerced them into doing things without giving them options. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, APRA is essentially not able to disclose, not able to say anything that goes against the narrative. And as a result, they haven't been able to speak out in regards to the consequences of certain things. And because of that alone means that you're not only being a bad doctor, but you're being a fraud. And because that is the theme now, that's the norm for doctors. I have to assume that pretty much most doctors are, in this country anyway, are not good doctors. I mean, unless, of course, you can show me that you're someone that stood up against this nonsense, I'm going to assume that you're someone that I can't trust. And unfortunately, this is it's come down to. Because look, I don't want to paint with a broad brush here. Not all doctors are bad. No, I mean, I'm the last person to make statements like that. But I would rather err on the side of caution when it comes to this kind of stuff, because the vast majority of doctors that have been going along with this stuff are not good people. But then again, the vast majority of people that have been going along with this stuff are a concern. It's a concern, because when there is such a great injustice going on in the world and people choose to not speak out about it, it shows that there is a lack of virtue in the world. I don't compel people to do any of this stuff. My whole thing is I do this stuff because one, I like talking. I got a big mouth, but I also feel compelled to. I've always been a sheepdog. This is just in my DNA. I'm an Aquarian. I'm an arbiter of truth. And I am the kind of person that can't stand by and let horrible things go on, even if it means everyone hates me. I've said many times, if people end up hating me and I lose friends because of this, then so be it. There are certain things that it's just not within me. The idea of not speaking out about the kind of stuff that I'm seeing going on right now, it's not even an option. That being said, obviously, I'm trying to be considerate in regards to my own mental health and my own career and so forth. I'm a musician, I'm a singer. That's my passion. However, I feel like it would be crazy not to speak out about horrible shit that goes on. Regardless of what your circumstances are right now, I think you have an obligation to speak the truth, because what is going on is so evil that even if your voice shakes, even if it may ruin your entire career, you have an obligation to do what you can to at least take a step forward to speak out against the injustice, And the thing is, I never thought that my disdain for authority would become my biggest virtue, because the thing is, I just can't stand, I don't even like a lot of people, because I've found out that so many people are actually down, forget all the science, they're just down with forcing others to comply with this stuff, which to me is gross. But I'm just against the authority. I'm against the idea that people can force you to do things because they're scared, which is at the heart of so many of the problems in the world. And, people always mask this as, oh, look, mate, we know that this is going to happen. They play these stupid games where they pretend that the science has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt things are happening, and then whether it's some appeal to potentiality, or they mask this with heuristic models and appeals to probability. Oh, look, it's a definitive thing. There's a 20% probability. Anytime you're speaking about things like that, and this is not an opinion, this is an objective fact, not built of air and imagination, but built off of fact. You are dealing in this realm of soothsaying. You cannot definitively prove that something that has not happened yet is going to happen. Anytime you appeal to that, you're appealing to, call it what you will, probability, potentiality. It's a game. And whereas most people don't like the sound of that because they want to pretend that everything can be known and everything is is understandable. You are playing a game. And I think you should be mindful of the future. But anytime you're going to sacrifice people's rights, people's freedoms for what might happen, you are moving into the very dark world of evil, you know? As Master Yoda once said,
You should be mindful of the past and the future, but not at the cost of the present.
All right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, freaks and geeks, brothers and sisters around the world, I've been ranting on for long enough. Be sure to like this video, tell your momos, tell your friends. Let us know what you think of my Wisdomatic Truth Bombs. Check us out on the Patreon. Check us out on iTunes, the Spotify's. If you want to check out my music, I got some music. I, the Chocolate Nubian, a.k.a. Chris Schul, I'm going to be releasing some new music this year. And I am going to be busking, doing some wedding gigs and a whole bunch of stuff. But don't worry, I'm still going to be dropping these videos every now and then. If you want to see more of this stuff, like it. Tell your mom, tell your friends. Until next time, Surya Namaskar, Namaste. Peace be upon your butt cheeks. Peace in the Middle East. Signing out, Chris Schul. Ow!
What is liberty?
What the? Who says you can't build muscle on a vegan diet?
What's it like being a hottie in the vegan community?
There are no political solutions, only technological ones.
The economics of the system don't allow multiple competing systems to survive.
Engineering, technology, these arts of humanity, they are magic.